Hey everyone, it's Mike. And today's story is a little different from my usual ones because today I want to talk about something that might sound strange coming from me, something that is almost the opposite of the serious, reflective, work on yourself themes I usually explore. Today I want to talk about not taking life so seriously. I know. Coming from the guy who has spent several stories talking about rebuilding himself after disappointment and learning to ask for help and stopping making excuses, this might seem inconsistent, like I am contradicting myself. Contradicting means saying something that goes against what you said before, creating an apparent conflict between two ideas. But I don't think it is a contradiction. I think it's actually the natural conclusion of all that other work. Because here's what I've learned. You can do all the growing, all the improving, all the honest self-examination and still miss the point completely if you do it with a face like you are carrying the weight of the world. Carrying the weight of the world means taking on so much responsibility and seriousness that you feel crushed by it, as if the entire world's problems are on your shoulders alone. I used to carry a lot of weight. Not because I had to, but because I thought I was supposed to. Tonight, I want to tell you why I put some of it down. I was a serious child. Not unhappy, I want to be clear about that. My childhood was good. My family was loving. I had friends and laughter and all the things a childhood should have. But even within all of that, I was the serious one. The one who worried. The one who planned, the one who took things to heart. Take something to heart means to feel something deeply and personally, to let it affect you significantly rather than letting it pass. I took most things to heart: grades, other people's opinions, whether I was doing well enough, whether I was liked, whether I was measuring up. I carried that seriousness into adulthood, and I added to it steadily. Adult responsibilities. Work, finances, goals, relationships, self-improvement, all layered on top of the existing seriousness, until I had built something quite heavy indeed. And the strange thing about that heaviness, it did not feel wrong to me. It felt correct. It felt like the appropriate response to life. Taking things seriously felt like respect for the importance of life, for the stakes involved, for the effort required to do things well. What I didn't understand for a very long time was the difference between taking things seriously and taking yourself too seriously. Those are not the same thing at all. Taking things seriously means caring about what matters, bringing genuine efforts and attention to the people and work and values that deserve it. That is good, that is healthy, that is necessary. Taking yourself too seriously means losing the ability to step back from your own importance, treating every stumble as a crisis, every imperfection as a catastrophe, every moment of looking foolish as a devastating blow to your dignity. Dignity means a sense of pride and self-respect, the feeling of being worthy of respect. I was doing both, and I didn't know the difference. The moment I started to understand the difference came from an unlikely source, a moment so small and so undignified that it's almost embarrassing to tell. I was 30 years old. I was at the gym, a gym I went to regularly, a gym where I knew some of the other regulars by sight. I was attempting a new exercise, a Romanian deadlift, if you're curious. A deadlift is a strength exercise where you lift a weighted barbell from the floor. A Romanian deadlift is a variation where you keep your legs almost straight and hinge at the hips. Hinge means to bend at a joint, like a door hinge opening and closing. I had watched a video about the correct form. I was confident I had it. I did not have it. On my second attempt, with more weight than I should have been using, I lost my balance, stumbled backward, and sat down very suddenly and very completely on the gym floor. Not injured, not hurt at all, just sitting on the floor, with the barbell on the floor in front of me and several people nearby who had definitely seen what happened. In the past, the old Mike, the seriously serious Mike, this would have been mortifying. Mortifying means causing intense embarrassment, making you wish the floor would open and swallow you. I would have stood up as quickly as possible, avoided all eye contact, finished my workout in a state of internal anguish, and thought about the incident for the rest of the day. Instead, I sat on the floor for a moment. I looked at the barbell. I looked at my own reflection in the mirror across the gym, and I started laughing. Not a polite, controlled laugh, a genuine, full, slightly too loud laugh, because it was funny. I had been so certain I had the form right. I had watched the video twice, and here I was, sitting on the gym floor like a person who had forgotten how legs worked. A guy nearby, someone I'd seen at the gym many times but never spoken to, caught my eye and grinned. He gave me a small nod that said, "Been there." I nodded back. I got up, reduced the weight, and finished my workout. And I felt lighter than I had felt in months, not because anything had changed, but because I had laughed at myself, genuinely, freely, without self-punishment, and the world had not ended. That small moment on the gym floor opened something. I started noticing how much of my daily seriousness was optional, how many of the things I treated as weighty and significant were actually, in the full context of a human life, quite small and quite ordinary. How often I was treating minor inconveniences as major events, temporary setbacks as permanent disasters, moments of looking foolish as evidence of some fundamental failing. Optional means something you can choose, not required, not necessary. I started, deliberately and consciously, practicing lightness, not carelessly, not by stopping caring about things that mattered, but by choosing, in the small moments, not to add unnecessary weight to things that did not require it. When I made a mistake at work, I acknowledged it, I fixed it, and I moved on. I did not spend the evening turning it over and over, adding layers of self-criticism and catastrophizing. Catastrophizing means treating something relatively minor as if it were a catastrophe, imagining the worst possible outcome and giving it too much emotional weight. When plans fell through, I adapted. I found something else. I let it be a small thing, because it was a small thing. When I said something slightly awkward in conversation, I let it go. I did not replay it for hours afterward, cringing at my own words, constructing elaborate alternative versions of what I should have said instead. And something remarkable happened. The things I stopped treating as disasters stopped feeling like disasters. Not because they changed, but because my relationship to them changed. I want to share something I read around this time that helped me enormously. It was a question, a simple, practical question that you can apply to almost any moment of unnecessary seriousness. The question is, will this matter in 5 years? That's it. 5 years. Not tomorrow, not next week. 5 years. Most of the things I was treating as significant, the small embarrassments, the minor failures, the moments of imperfection and awkwardness, the honest answer was no. In 5 years, this will not matter at all. It will not even be a memory. And a few things, the genuinely important ones, the ones involving the people I love and the values I hold and the work that actually matters, the honest answer was yes, these things will still matter in 5 years. And those things deserve genuine seriousness and genuine care. The question helped me sort, to put the right amount of weight on the right things, to give the small things small weight and save the real weight for the things that deserved it. It sounds obvious. Most useful things do once you hear them. But I had been carrying small things with large weight for years without ever asking whether that was necessary. And it was not necessary. It had never been necessary. I also want to say something about humor, because I think humor and lightness are deeply connected, and I think humor is one of the most underused tools for a good life. I'm not talking about deflecting with humor, using jokes to avoid genuine feelings or difficult conversations. That's a different thing and not what I mean. I mean the genuine ability to find things funny, including yourself, including the gap between how seriously you take yourself and how the universe actually regards you. Deflecting means avoiding something by redirecting attention elsewhere. The universe, as far as I can tell, does not particularly regard any of us with the gravity we regard ourselves. We are small creatures on a small planet in an enormous universe, doing our best with the limited tools we have, stumbling and recovering and stumbling again. And that is, if you look at it honestly, at least a little bit funny, in the best possible way. Being able to laugh at yourself is not weakness. It's one of the healthiest, most grounded things a person can do. It says, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm sometimes ridiculous. I know the gap between my self-image and my reality is occasionally quite comic, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, what does taking life less seriously actually look like in practice? Let me tell you, concretely, specifically, what changed for me. I started doing things badly on purpose sometimes. Not important things, not work, not relationships, but small, recreational things where being bad is completely fine, and the only barrier to enjoyment was my own fear of not being good enough. I started cooking things I'd never cooked before and accepting that the first attempt would probably be mediocre. I started drawing badly with no skill, just for the pleasure of making marks on paper. I started dancing in my kitchen when a good song came on, with absolutely no regard for what it looked like. These small acts of deliberate imperfection were, surprisingly, genuinely, some of the most enjoyable things I had done in years. I started laughing more, not performing laughter, actually laughing at things I found funny, at situations that were absurd, at myself when I was being ridiculous. Laughter is one of the best things your body can do, and most of us do nearly enough of it. Absurd means wildly unreasonable or ridiculous, so illogical or extreme that it becomes funny. I started being less afraid of being wrong, in conversations, in opinions, in ideas. I started saying, I think this, but I might be wrong, and meaning it, not as a performance of humility, but as a genuine acknowledgement that I don't have everything figured out, and that's completely fine. Better than fine. It's honest. And I started enjoying things more. Just more. The food, the music, the people, the ordinary Tuesday evenings. When you put down some of the unnecessary weight, the self-consciousness, the constant evaluation, the low hum of seriousness that colors everything, you find you have more room for enjoyment, for pleasure, for the simple, uncomplicated experience of being alive and finding it good. I'm still a serious person in the ways that matter. I care about my work, I care about the people I love, I care about doing things well and living with integrity. Integrity means having strong moral principles and being honest, doing what you say and saying what you mean. But I hold all of that more lightly now. I carry it with something closer to ease than to strain. And in the spaces between the important things, I laugh. I make mistakes without catastrophizing. I sit on the floor of the gym and find it funny. I dance badly in my kitchen. And life, this imperfect, unpredictable, sometimes difficult, always remarkable life, feels better for it. Measurably, genuinely, honestly better. Take it seriously where it deserves seriousness, and for everything else, laugh. Let it be light. Let yourself be human and imperfect and occasionally ridiculous. It's so much better this way. I promise. Thank you so much for spending this Sunday afternoon with me. I hope this story made you smile and maybe gave you permission to put down a little weight you've been carrying unnecessarily. If you enjoyed tonight's story and you want to keep learning natural, real English, please subscribe to Free Daily English right here on YouTube. New stories every week, completely free, made just for you. Just hit that subscribe button below. Take care, everyone. Laugh more. Dance badly in your kitchen, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.